Chicago Fire Season 13, PD Season 12, and Med Season 10 release date confirmed. Hello everyone, my name is Marcus G. Welcome to my channel. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and give this video a like up. NBC officially confirms the return date for its One Chicago shows. Chicago Fire Season 13, Chicago PD Season 12, and Chicago Med Season 10. The One Chicago franchise is currently on hiatus after a particularly tumultuous year. Each show ended on an interesting note that would propel their upcoming storytelling to new heights. That said, as network TV shifts back to its normal programming schedule on the heels of the strikes-shortened 2023 to 2024 season, details about when to expect One Chicago to return have been announced. Per TV Line, Chicago Fire Season 13, Chicago PD Season 12, and Chicago Med Season 10 will all premiere on Wednesday, September 25. NBC and Wolf Entertainment are maintaining One Chicago's weekly block despite previous concerns that the network may break up the 3-hour primetime schedule. As per usual, Chicago Med will open Wednesdays at 8 p.m., followed by Chicago Fire at 9 p.m., and ending with Chicago PD at 10 p.m. Why this new season of One Chicago is so exciting? Chicago Wednesdays will get its full season back after a shortened year. Because of network TV's delayed premiere for the 2023 to 2024 year, Chicago Fire Season 12, Chicago PD Season 11, and Chicago Med Season 9 all got 13 episodes each, almost half of their usual yearly output. Instead of its usual multi-season renewals, however, NBC just awarded One Chicago with a single-year order, only guaranteeing its run until the 2024 to 2025 TV season. Admittedly, it's almost impossible that the network would axe Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med at once. The whole block is far too big of a loss for their usual programming roster to be gutted at the same time. However, not renewing the lowest rated among them may not be out of the realm of possibility, especially as it tries to keep its programming roster fresh. Should NBC still expand One Chicago? The Law and Order franchise has had more spin-offs. It's no secret that One Chicago's storytelling approach is patterned from Wolf's Law and Order franchise, which has proven to be very successful for NBC for years. While the Windy City-based procedurals have already taken up the network's full Wednesday primetime block, it would be interesting to see if there are any plans for another expansion show. For context, the Law and Order franchise has had multiple other shows in its roster, some of which are no longer airing. However, for a time, they kept the TV universe going and also expanded its fan base. For now, however, it may be for the best if NBC and Wolf Entertainment focus on what they have on hand. The upcoming year is particularly tricky, considering all the changes brought about by the recent shakeups in the show's casts. In any case, Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med seem to satiate people's interest in what's happening in the Windy City. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe my fast gossip to our channel and stay with us. Having been on the air since 2014, One Chicago has weathered multiple changes, both in front of and behind the camera. Each time a cast or crew member has left, however, the franchise has managed to move forward, even maintaining its good viewership numbers. The last year has been particularly tricky, however, with several major cast departures. Longtime characters Sylvie Brett and Chief Wallace Bogan exited Chicago Fire, and Haley Upton officially said goodbye to Voight and Intelligence in Chicago PD Season 11. Additionally, Chicago Med has essentially lost Crockett Marshall. Despite these changes, there are still many things to be excited about when One Chicago returns this fall. The top one is the franchise reinstating its usual number of episodes. Because of network TV's delayed premiere for the 2023 to 2024 year, Chicago Fire Season 12, Chicago PD Season 11, and Chicago Med Season 9 all got 13 episodes each, almost half of their usual yearly output. This means that, next season, any big storylines will have enough time to be tackled without compromising their procedural aspect. There will be more weekly cases that make them the perfect shows for binge watching. Secondly, the slew of changes that came in One Chicago's previous season will likely motivate NBC and Wolf Entertainment to maintain some sense of stability coming into the new year. This means that there will be fewer, if any, cast departures. While the show executives welcome them as a way to keep the franchise fresh, the constant cast alterations these past few years have made it difficult to do multi-season storylines. Thirdly, a return to its original schedule finally allows for another Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med crossover. How long can One Chicago last on the air? Chicago Fire has been on the air for more than a decade. 2024 marks the 12th year of Dick Wolf's first Chicago series, Chicago Fire. The first responder procedural was immediately followed up by 2 more shows. One Chicago almost had a 4th show, Chicago Justice, but it was canceled just after 1 season because it was far too similar to Law and Order. Still, having 3 procedurals, which continue to be top network performers, is impressive, even though the numbers have been gradually slipping down. For what it's worth, the downward trend has been prevalent throughout most traditional broadcast programming. Still, it may be something to be concerned about. Admittedly, it's almost impossible that the network would axe Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, and Chicago Med at once.